Intellectual revolutions that define society. In this lesson, the following learning outcomes are expected. 1. Identify and describe the paradigm shifts in scientific knowledge and in history. 2. Understand the progress of human society with respect to the advancement of scientific knowledge. 3. Formulate own perspective on changes and issues of the sciences and society. 4. Articulate ways by which society is transformed by science and technology. 3 revolutions that define society. First, ideas of known intellectuals. Second, information revolution. And third, cradles of early science. Let us know what is intellectual revolution. It pertains to the period of paradigm shifts or changes in the scientific beliefs that have been widely embraced and accepted by the people. Ideas of known intellectuals. Copernican Revolution of Nicholas Copernicus, 1473 to 1543. In the 6th century, Ptolemy introduced the geocentric model where it showed that the Earth is the center of the universe, which was thought to be true by most of the people at that time. Copernicus is an astronomer who contradicts the geocentric model and proposed the heliocentric theory where planets revolve around the Sun. The change from the belief of geocentric to heliocentric happened through the contributions of other important people such as Brahe's observation of the star Cassiopeia. Kepler stated that the planets move in elliptical orbits and the Sun at the center. Galileo Galilei developed telescope and observed Venus. Isaac Newton's law of gravitation. Darwinian Revolution, Charles Darwin, 1809 to 1882. He formulated his book on the origin of species in 1859 that presented evidence on how species evolved over time, and the descent of man in 1871, that introduced the idea of all organic life under the realm of revolutionary thinking. Darwin proposed the theory of evolution by natural selection, where organisms change over time as a result of changes in heritable physical or behavioral traits. The changes that allow an organism to better adapt to its environment can help it survive and have more offspring. There are 2 main points in his theory. 1. All life on Earth is connected and related to each other. 2. This diversity of life came about because of the modifications in populations that were driven by natural selection. Natural selection is often described as survival of the fittest, where fitness refers to the ability to survive and reproduce. Freudian Revolution, Sigmund Freud, 1856 to 1939. Freud founded psychoanalysis. He described that the brain can be segmented into compartments. He developed an observational method to study humans' inner life, mainly focuses on human sexuality and the evil nature of man. The Freudian Revolution greatly affected the literature, visual arts and music.
Information revolution started from the Sumerian pictographs, which is the earliest writing system. Then came the invention of Gutenberg's printing press on 1455. There emerged the use of typewriter and telegraph. Today, technologies are used widely, which became easier with the help of the internet to communicate, disseminate, and store information. Cradles of early science in Mesoamerican civilizations. The Aztec, the Mayan, the Inca. Contributions of the Mesoamericans. The Aztecs had established a great military force. The Chinampa of the Aztecs used small rectangular areas of fertile land to grow crops on the shallow lake beds. The use of rubber is documented in the Maya ball game called Tlachtli. They used cocoa beans as currency. The Maya developed an accurate calendar, also known as the Mayan calendar. The Mita system was invented by the Inca. It is a labor service that takes form in road and bridge construction, in cultivation of corn and textile production. The quipos are used by the Incan for bookkeeping. Contributions in the Middle East. The Arab applied the Romans' principles and improved the watermill known as Noria. The book written explained steam power and a blueprint of a 6-piston pump. The Middle East is known for their machine designed for the improvement of irrigation, industrial work, and for war. The windmill and watermill are used for crushing sugar canes, grinding grain, and pumping water. The book described candle and water clocks, water vessels, fountains, automata, and water-raising devices. Contributions in Asia. Traditional Chinese medicine, acupuncture, and herbal medicine were practiced. The 4 great inventions in China are the compass, gunpowder, papermaking, and printing. Other contributions include alchemy, which is a Taoist chemistry. Contributions in Africa. Africa is known for the production of kola nuts and coffee in Ethiopia. Coffee was developed as a consumable drink that spread to Arabia, and then throughout the world. Africa used plants with salicylic acid for pain and for diarrhea. They are also highly advanced in medicine, such as operating autopsies and cesarean. The technology involved experimentation in drainage, construction of polders, desalination, and irrigation. Evidence in 1978 suggests that they already mastered making steels.
Individual scholars and their great works. Archimedes, 287 BCE to 212 BCE. Archimedes of Syracuse was an ancient Greek mathematician, physicist, engineer, inventor, and astronomer. Amongst other things, he calculated pi and developed the Archimedes screw for lifting up water from mines or wells. Kai Lun, 50 to 121 CE. He was a Chinese political administrator credited with inventing modern paper and inventing the paper-making process. His invention included the use of raw materials such as bark, hemp, silk, and fishing net. The sheets of fiber were suspended in water before removing for drying. Leonardo da Vinci, 1452 to 1519. An Italian artist, scientist, and polymath. Da Vinci invented a huge range of machines and drew models that provoked workable 300 to 500 years later. These included prototype parachutes, tanks, flying machines, and single-span bridges. More practical inventions included an optical lens grinder and various hydraulic machines. Galileo Galilei, 1564 to 1642. An Italian scientist who developed a powerful telescope and confirmed revolutionary theories about the nature of the world, and also developed an improved compass. Sir Isaac Newton, 1642 to 1726. An English scientist who invented the reflecting telescope. This greatly improved the capacity of telescopes and reduced optical distortion. Newton was also a great physicist and astronomer. Thomas Savery is an English inventor. He patented one of the first steam engines, which was pioneered for use in pumping water from mines. This original Savery steam engine was basic, but it was used as a starting point in later developments of the steam engine. Thomas Newcomen is an English inventor who created the first practical steam engine for pumping water from mines. He worked with Savery's initial design, but significantly improved it, using atmospheric pressure, which was safer and more effective for use in mines to remove water. Jethro Tull is an English agricultural entrepreneur who invented the seed drill and horse-drawn hoe. The seed drill improved the efficiency of farming and led to increased yields. It was an important invention in the agricultural revolution, which increased yields prior to the Industrial Revolution. Abraham Darby, 1678 to 1717. An English Quaker, inventor, and businessman. He developed a process of producing large quantities of pig iron from coke. Coke-smelted iron was a crucial raw material in the Industrial Revolution. John Harrison is an English carpenter and clockmaker. He invented a device for measuring longitude at sea. This was a crucial invention to improve the safety of navigating the oceans. Mr. Benjamin Franklin, 1705 to 1790. American polymath who discovered electricity and invented Franklin's stove, the lightning rod, and bifocals. He was also an American statesman and an influential figure in the development of modern America. William Cullen is a Scottish physician and chemist. He is credited with inventing the basis for the first artificial refrigerator, although it took others to make his designs suitable for practical use.
English industrialist John Iron Mad Wilkinson developed the manufacture and use of cast iron. These precision-made cast iron cylinders were important in steam engines. Richard Arkwright is an English entrepreneur and father of the Industrial Revolution. Arkwright was a leading pioneer in the spinning industry. He invented the spinning frame and was successful in using this in mass-scale factory production. James Watt is a Scottish inventor of the steam engine, which was suitable for use in trains. His invention of a separate condensing chamber greatly improved the efficiency of steam. It enabled the steam engine to be used for a greater range of purpose than just pumping water. Alessandro Volta invented the first electrochemical battery cell. It used zinc, copper, and electrolyte, such as sulfuric acid and water. Humphrey Davy, 1778 to 1829. English inventor of the Davy lamp. The lamp could be used by miners in areas where methane gas existed because the design prevented a flame escaping the fine gauze. Charles Babbage is an English mathematician and inventor. He created the first mechanical computer, which proved to be the prototype for future computers. Considered to be the father of computers, despite not finishing a working model. Michael Faraday, 1791 to 1867. English scientist who helped convert electricity into a format that could be easily used. Faraday discovered benzene and also invented an early form of the Bunsen burner. Samuel Morse. American inventor Morse used principles of Jackson's electromagnet to develop a single telegraph wire. He also invented Morse code, a method of communicating via telegraph. William Talbot. The British Victorian pioneer of photography. He invented the first negative, which could make several prints. He is known for inventing the collotype process of taking photographs. Louis Braille, 1809 to 1852, is a French inventor. He was blinded in a childhood accident. He developed the Braille system of reading for the blind. He also developed a musical Braille for reading music scores. Kirkpatrick Macmillan is a Scottish inventor of the pedal bicycle. Kirkpatrick's contribution was to make a rear-wheel-driven bicycle through the use of a chain, giving the basic design for the bicycle as we know it today. Mr. James Maxwell invented the first process for producing color photography. Maxwell was also considered one of the greatest physicists of the millennium. Karl Benz is German inventor and businessman. Benz developed the petrol-powered car. In 1879, Benz received his first patent for petrol-powered internal combustion engine, which made an automobile car practical. He also became a successful automobile manufacturer, hence the Mercedes-Benz.
Sir Thomas Edison is an American inventor who filed over 1,000 patents. He developed and innovated a wide range of products from the electric light bulb to the phonograph and motion picture camera. Alexander Graham Bell, 1847 to 1992, is a Scottish scientist credited with inventing the first practical telephone. Also worked on optical telecommunications, aeronautics, and hydrofoils. Nikola Tesla, born on 1856, is an American physicist who invented fluorescent lighting, the Tesla coil, the induction motor, three-phase electricity and AC electricity. Rudolf Diesel. A German inventor of the diesel engine. Diesel sought to build an engine which had much greater efficiency. This led him to develop a diesel-powered combustion engine. Edouard Michelin. French inventor of the pneumatic tire. John Dunlop invented the first practical pneumatic tire in 1887. Michelin improved on this initial design to develop his own version in 1889. Marie Curie, 1867 to 1934, is a Polish-born French chemist and physicist. Curie discovered radium and helped make use of radiation and X-rays. Wright brothers, Orville and Wilbur, are American inventors who successfully designed, built, and flew the first powered aircraft in 1903. Alexander Fleming. Scottish scientist who discovered the antibiotic penicillin by accident from the mold Penicillium notatum in 1928. John Logie Baird. Scottish inventor who invented the television and the first recording device. Enrico Fermi, 1901 to 1945, is an Italian scientist who developed the nuclear reactor. Fermi made important discoveries in induced radioactivity. He is considered the inventor of nuclear reactor. J. Robert Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer was in charge of the Manhattan Project, which led to the creation of the first atomic bomb in the United States, later dropped in Japan. He later campaigned against his own invention. Alan Turing. An English 20th century mathematician, pioneer of computer science. He developed the Turing machine, capable of automating processes. It could be adapted to simulate the logic of any computer algorithm. Lastly, Mr. Robert Noyce, 1927 to 1990. He is an American 20th century electrical engineer. Along with Jack Kilby, he invented the microchip or integrated circuit. He filed for patent in 1959. The microchip fueled the computer revolution.